Not too many people are going to stand up to Luis Ortiz's straight left hand, is what Al Bernstein said after Ortiz took out Razvan Cojano. Quite satisfyingly, actually, in 2 rounds. Of course, it's something that Joseph Parker couldn't manage to do in 12 rounds, as he tried to force things, but Cojano sparred with him lots, kept seeing his right hand come in easily shelled up, and was often mocking the Kiwi a lot throughout that fight. Well, in the second round against Ortiz, he did a little bit of mocking near the beginning of the round, flashing that smile. He is quite an affable personality, Cojano, likes messing about a bit, does that big look. But then Ortiz, much better schooled than Joseph Parker, has to be said. It only really seems to be age as his main drawback, the big Cuban, because fundamentally, when he puts them together, it's really well done. And he threw a nice right hook, which connected, but still acts like something of a blinding shot, and then shot the straight left down the centre, and boom, Cojano's balance and equilibrium wasn't so great, as he twice failed to judge where the ropes were when he was trying to right himself. Now, it's a good little victory for Ortiz against a pretty whatever opponent, but he got rid of him well, so it keeps him somewhat there in the headlines. But the question is, for this guy who's just about keeping himself in the heavyweight picture, you know, is he relevant right now? Is he going to get one more chance? There was talk of Ortiz having a rematch against Deontay Wilder, considering the first fight was good and he did get Wilder hurt in that 7th round. You'd have some leverage there to make a rematch, but it looks like Wilder might, if this miraculously gets pulled off, Wilder might be fighting Tyson Fury, of course, which then that blocks Ortiz's route for a rematch against Windmill. Both guys seem to be quite chummy after their first fight, it seems. And we're hearing Ortiz talking about Anthony Joshua again. Now, of course, Ortiz was briefly with Matchroom, where he didn't look so great before leaving. People were talking about, well, an AJ Ortiz fight would make a lot of sense there, but some people were saying Eddie Hearn doesn't want to make that. But Ortiz against Joshua will be fun, but Joshua is fighting Povetkin in September, and he's got a date booked already in Wembley after that for April, and that's very probably not going to be Ortiz. So, is the very old Ortiz, we don't know how old this guy is. He still looks like he's got some juice in the tank, no pun intended, with his history of PED abuse, or getting caught at least twice. But is he going to get a look in again, basically? He's looked, it's a shame that, well, it's a shame that he seems to have abused some PEDs before, but fundamentally, he seems to be the best of the lot. If Luis Ortiz was younger, got himself in great shape, you know, he very well may be the man, and it's a shame that he is old, and that he might not get a look in now. But if the fight against Wilder, a rematch, was to go ahead, let's give him these chances. How would you see that rematch going? Do you think Wilder would just do him quicker this time? He wouldn't have a shaky spot? And against Joshua, the more static Joshua, more predictable but technically better, do you think Ortiz would have a better chance getting that straight left down the pipe against Joshua? Of course, he's got very long arms, Ortiz, takes his time, very good. Or would Joshua's natural youth and explosiveness take the Cuban out of there? But hypothetically, he might not get these matches now, you know, he might just sort of slowly fade to nowhere and never get another big chance, Ortiz. But those 2 fights, Wilder and Joshua, if they were to happen this year again, how would you see him going?